Move through life as if the universe were your silent partner, as if every detour, delay, and disappointment were secretly rearranging itself to serve your purpose. Most people panic at the first sign of resistance. They crumble when the plan bends. But the man who acts like everything always works out becomes untouchable. Imagine walking into every situation, every meeting, every obstacle, every unknown, with the calm of a man who already knows how the story ends. You breathe differently. You decide faster. You stop begging for outcomes and start directing them. When faith becomes your reflex, circumstances lose their power over you. The weak man asks, "What if it doesn't work?" The wise man answers, "What if it already has?" This is the secret every great achiever lives by. Edison called it certainty. Ford called it decision. Carnegie called it faith, the unbreakable belief that every event, no matter how chaotic, is conspiring to serve the goal. Life mirrors your mental state. When you think as though everything is against you, you create enemies in every shadow. But when you act as though everything is working for you, the very same shadows become allies. The world bends to the posture of your mind. The truth is, everything is always working out, but only for those who act like it. The ones who smile in crisis, the ones who thank delay, the ones who say good when others complain, because they know what the fearful never discover, that infinite intelligence does not abandon a definite mind. This is not optimism, it's authority. To act as though everything always works out is to command the universe in advance. It is to walk by law, not emotion. It is to declare that every difficulty contains its reward. Every setback hides a seed of progress, and every ending is just a disguised beginning. When you master this attitude, you stop reacting and start ruling. You stop chasing and start attracting. You become the calm in every storm, the order inside every chaos. People will notice your peace and call it luck, but you will know it is law. After this, you will no longer pray from fear. You will decree from faith. You will no longer wait for proof. You will move as if the proof is already behind you. Repeat until your soul believes it. Everything always works out for me. Because when you believe that fully, it must. Man's greatest torment is not circumstance, but misinterpretation. Life does not injure him. His opinion of life does. Most men believe chaos rules them, yet the wise man learns that nothing in a definite life is accidental. The same law that guides the stars guides the steps of man. Delay is not denial, it is direction. Setback is not punishment, it is precision. The average man curses interruption. He believes the universe has forgotten him when his plan bends or slows. But those who understand the unseen law know that infinite intelligence does not make mistakes. It rearranges, it reshapes, it holds back the unready to prepare them for greater reach. Every obstacle is construction disguised as interruption. When the farmer places his seed in soil, he does not tear the earth open each morning to verify progress. He trusts the invisible law beneath the surface. He knows that silence does not mean stillness. The seed grows underground where the eye cannot see. So too does success. The dream planted in faith develops in quiet chambers of thought long before the world beholds its bloom. Impatience is the confession of disbelief. The man who demands immediate harvest proves he has not yet earned it. Nature rewards order, not urgency. The immature spirit rushes toward what would destroy him if granted too soon. Infinite intelligence never withholds. It protects. It waits until your inner structure can sustain your own success. Say quietly, "My delays are my preparation." Let those words become your anchor when impatience tempts you. The universe has not forgotten you. It is refining you. The hammer of adversity does not destroy iron. It forges it into usefulness. The fire that scorches clay turns it to stone. So too must the man of purpose be tempered before he can hold power. Observe the pattern of all great men, and you will see this law unfold. Thomas Edison failed thousands of times, not because the law opposed him, but because he was learning how to cooperate with it. Each failed experiment refined his understanding, strengthened his focus, and tested his persistence. He never doubted that success was being arranged behind every disappointment. When critics mocked him, he did not waste breath defending himself. He merely said, "I have not failed. I have found ways that do not work." That is the creed of the man who acts as though all things work out. He interprets each failure as progress, each obstacle as guidance. The law of divine arrangement rewards such faith with invention, wealth, and legacy. Consider Abraham Lincoln, whose path to greatness was paved with defeat. He failed in business, lost elections, faced grief, ridicule, and near ruin. Yet each trial purified his purpose until he became fit to lead a nation. Delay matured him. Disappointment educated him. Through each fall, he gained insight into the hearts of men. When destiny called, he was ready because delay had shaped him. The impatient soul would have abandoned that journey. He would have mistaken preparation for punishment. But the man who trusts law knows that timing is sacred. There are no late arrivals in divine order. You arrive precisely when your understanding matches your opportunity. Until then, life is polishing your edges. Henry Ford, too, met bankruptcy and mockery before triumph. Bankers refused him, competitors ridiculed him, even his own workers doubted him. Yet he walked daily as one guided by certainty. He said, "Failure is only the opportunity to begin again, this time more intelligently." And so he began again and again until the invisible arrangement revealed its purpose. Infinite intelligence cannot deliver wealth to the undisciplined or power to the unready. To receive, one must harmonize thought, emotion, and action with law. The moment you align inwardly with success, outer circumstances must obey. But the man who fights the delay fights his own development. There is a rhythm to realization. Every purpose has its gestation. The child cannot be forced from the womb before maturity. To do so would destroy both mother and offspring. In the same way, your dreams must complete their invisible development. Rushing only brings ruin. You must learn to wait with faith, active faith, not passive idleness. Say quietly, "I trust the law that arranges all things in my favor." Each repetition plants another root of confidence deep in your subconscious. That soil, once cultivated, grows patience into power. Man's frustration arises because he demands to understand what is designed only to be trusted. The invisible order of the world cannot be analyzed. It can only be aligned with. You cannot dissect divinity. You can only cooperate with it. To insist upon knowing every reason before you act is to postpone your own progress indefinitely. Faith in motion is the secret. Believe while you build. Expect while you labor. The man who works in doubt scatters energy. The man who works in faith concentrates it. One shouts his worry to all who will listen. The other whispers gratitude to the law that never fails. The law of divine arrangement is most visible to the calm observer. He does not rush through experience. He reads it. He knows that life is not happening to him, but through him. He is both student and sculptor, learning as he shapes, shaping as he learns. Say to yourself when frustration arises, "Every delay prepares me for greater success." Let it be your inner armor. When plans crumble, repeat it until peace returns. For peace is not a passive condition, It is active power. Those who live by this understanding become magnetic. Their presence radiates quiet assurance. They are trusted even before they speak. The world senses their composure and instinctively yields to it. Such men are never seen rushing. Their calm announces their confidence. When others panic, they remain steady. When others quit, they adjust. When others curse delay, they thank it. And that gratitude, invisible though it seems, is the signal that summons further blessing. Infinite intelligence delights in gratitude. It is the vibration of recognition, the song of harmony between the human and the divine. When you give thanks before evidence appears, you prove your understanding of law. Gratitude before proof is the highest form of faith. To complain is to accuse the law of disorder. To give thanks is to acknowledge its perfection. The complaining man tells the universe that it has erred. The grateful man declares that all is well, even when the outer picture looks imperfect. And because he declares it, it becomes so. Consider again the farmer. He does not curse the rain nor fear the drought. He trusts that both serve the crop. The storm that tears the branches today may strengthen the roots for tomorrow. So it is with your life. Every event nourishes the soul that remains grateful. When you adopt this attitude, people will call you unshakable. They will wonder why nothing disturbs you. They will say, "He must know something we do not." And you will smile, for indeed you do. You know the law of divine arrangement. You understand that infinite intelligence cannot fail. It is impossible for you to be denied if you remain faithful. You are being developed, not delayed. The plan of the universe unfolds for your growth, not your grief. If your road turns, it is because the straight path would have led you astray. Say often, "I cannot be denied. I am being developed." Let it cleanse the mind of fear and disappointment. Each repetition will replace doubt with decision. Decision is the voice of faith. Hesitation is the whisper of fear. In moments of hardship, refuse the impulse to complain. Complaint prolongs pain. Gratitude dissolves it. When you give thanks for even the bitter cup, it transforms to nectar. Life obeys the thankful heart as faithfully as a servant obeys a wise master. Those who live this way become symbols of stability. In their faces is serenity, in their tone, strength. Their calm persuades more effectively than argument. They draw respect without demand, influence without force, opportunity without chase. You must understand, order attracts order. When your inner world is arranged by faith, the outer world must mirror it. The universe cannot contradict the vibration of harmony. It is law. Infinite intelligence is not concerned with your clock or your calendar. It moves in seasons, not seconds. When the soil is ready, the crop appears. Your duty is not to hurry the process, but to ensure the soil of thought remains fertile with belief. Say again before rest, "I am at peace with the pace of divine law." Feel the weight lift from your heart as you accept that everything unfolds perfectly. When you awake in the morning, do not ask, "How will this work out?" Ask instead, "How can I cooperate with the order already working for me?" This question shifts your energy from fear to faith, from resistance to receptivity. Understand this truth. Infinite intelligence never works against its own creations. The law cannot oppose itself. Therefore, if you live in harmony with purpose, all events, whether sweet or bitter, must serve that purpose. The man of faith is never anxious. His peace is proof that he understands the principle of arrangement. He knows that the plan is always greater than the present picture. His calm is not ignorance, it is insight. As you practice this consciousness, you will notice coincidences forming around you, people arriving at the right time, problems solving themselves, doors opening without struggle. Others will call it luck. You will know it as law in motion. Gratitude becomes your compass, patience your pace, and faith your constant companion. These three form the trinity of divine cooperation. The man who holds them fears nothing. When the world says wait, you will smile. When plans delay, you will thank. When opposition rises, you will bless it, for you will know that all things are woven by the same invisible hand working toward your good. Let these words seal this lesson within you. I trust the unseen hand that shapes my path. I walk calmly through what others fear. I am prepared by delay, guided by order, sustained by law. You will find that every repetition deepens peace until peace becomes identity. And once peace becomes identity, success becomes inevitable. For nothing can resist the man who walks in rhythm with infinite intelligence. The mind that trembles cannot think clearly. And the man who cannot think clearly cannot command success. To master life, one must first master calm. Faith is not mere belief. It is composure under fire, the discipline of stillness when others collapse in noise. Calmness is the language of power. It speaks quietly, but the world bends to hear it. The undisciplined man rushes through his days like a ship tossed by every wind. 1 hour he believes in himself, the next he doubts. His emotions rise and fall with the tide of circumstance. He wastes his energy on worry and his strength on reaction. The calm man, however, has learned that control of self is control of fate. He does not drift, he directs. Say within, I am calm, therefore I am powerful. These words must not be repeated idly, but lived. The storm cannot harm the mountain because the mountain is still. Likewise, no disturbance can shake the mind grounded in faith. The world outside may rage, but peace inside becomes an unbreakable fortress. Understand that calmness is not passivity. It is the highest form of command. The frantic man acts without direction. The calm man acts with purpose. The frantic man consumes energy. The calm man conserves it. The frantic man needs approval. The calm man needs only alignment with law. Faith does not shout. It observes. It listens. It waits for instruction from infinite intelligence and moves only when directed. Anxiety is noise. Faith is silence. Fear argues. Faith decides. If you wish to act like everything always works out, you must learn to stand quietly amid confusion and know that order is forming around you. The illusion of control is the first enemy of peace. Man believes he must force success, yet the law does not respond to force. It responds to faith. When you release the need to control every outcome, you invite infinite intelligence to move freely through you. You are no longer fighting the current. You are flowing with it. Consider George Washington, surrounded by chaos, betrayed by circumstance, and opposed by greater armies. He stood with calm dignity. His soldiers saw in his silence the reflection of victory. It was not his weapons that led them, it was his composure. When faith rules the heart, courage fills the ranks. Calmness is contagious. People sense the authority of the man who does not panic. They gravitate toward him as ships steer toward the lighthouse. His stillness becomes their stability. This is leadership, not command by voice, but command by vibration. Others feel the quiet certainty within you and begin to believe in their own strength. Say within, no condition moves me. I move conditions. Feel the truth of those words expand in you. The mind that reacts is slave. The mind that decides is sovereign. When you master your inner response, you become untouchable. You cease being at the mercy of circumstance because you have chosen the higher law of dominion over emotion. Emotion, like electricity, is neutral until directed. When you channel it through faith, it becomes power. When you scatter it through fear, it becomes destruction. You must learn to ground emotion as the engineer grounds current into action, purpose, and productive calm. Fear short-circuits power. Faith conducts it. I have seen men of great talent fail because they could not still their minds. They rushed decisions, spoke hastily, and mistook agitation for energy. But greatness belongs to the composed. Infinite intelligence speaks in whispers. The noisy mind cannot hear. When you quiet your inner storm, inspiration flows like a clear stream through the channels of thought. There is a technique I call stillness rehearsal. Each morning before you touch the day, sit in silence. Close your eyes, breathe deeply. Imagine that infinite intelligence flows through you as light flows through glass. Let each breath polish your inner mirror until your thoughts reflect peace. When you rise from that silence, you will carry composure into every act. The world will test you. It will send interruption, provocation, and delay to measure your faith. Do not fight these tests. Welcome them. They are training. They reveal your weakness so that strength may replace it. Every trial is a lesson in calmness disguised as conflict. Charles Schwab, the industrialist who rose under Carnegie, was known for his cheer under pressure. He could walk into a failing factory, laugh among nervous workers, and turn panic into productivity. His secret was simple. He refused to allow fear into his tone. His calm was his magnetism, his optimism, his wealth. You too must cultivate this temperament. To act as if everything always works out means to live from the conviction that nothing is wasted and nothing is final until you decide it is. The man of calm certainty never asks, "What will happen?" He declares, "What must happen will serve me." The doubter reacts to appearances. The believer responds to principle. Appearances change like weather, but principle is eternal. Infinite intelligence is not moved by the storm of circumstance. It governs the storm. When you align with it, you partake in its stability. Calmness is not natural to the undisciplined mind. It must be trained. Begin with your speech. Speak slowly, with certainty. The fast talker reveals nervousness. The measured voice commands attention. When you speak deliberately, you convince yourself of your authority and others of your leadership. Then train your body. When adversity strikes, do not rush, do not fidget, do not shout. Stand still, breathe, feel the law at work behind the scene. Act only when the feeling of peace returns. Haste is the habit of fear. Calmness is the habit of faith. Say quietly, "My serenity commands success." You will notice that opportunities begin to flow toward you when your energy steadies. Chaos flees before order. Those who once doubted you will begin to defer to you without knowing why. Your calmness becomes proof of your mastery. Infinite intelligence moves through quiet minds. The man who fills his hours with noise, gossip, complaint, distraction, blocks inspiration. But the man who keeps moments of silence clears the channel. He hears ideas that others miss. He perceives patterns invisible to those drowned in noise. The habit of stillness builds invisible strength. Each time you remain composed under tension, you reinforce the truth that life is under control. You program the subconscious to respond with peace instead of panic. Soon composure becomes automatic. Your reflex to crisis is calm. This is not resignation, it is dominion. You are not ignoring danger, you are commanding it. The man who acts in fear invites repetition of the same fear. The man who acts in faith commands repetition of success. Whatever state you sustain becomes the law of your experience. I tell you plainly, the calm man is the most dangerous man in the room. While others argue, he decides. While others doubt, he acts. While others complain, he advances quietly until his results make noise for him. His competitors burn out through emotion. He endures through equilibrium. Even in business, calmness pays dividends. A mind under control makes fewer errors, wastes less time, and inspires greater trust. Clients, partners, and allies feel secure in your presence. They may not understand your peace, but they will invest in it. The calm man becomes indispensable wherever instability exists. When you practice calmness, you will notice how your environment begins to change. Conversations grow shorter, results grow larger, and confusion around you subsides. You will begin to feel as though the universe itself moves more smoothly. In truth, it is not the universe that has changed. It is your vibration. Say inwardly, faith is the stillness that commands motion. Each repetition builds a deeper awareness that you are not at the mercy of events. You are master of them because you have mastered self. In the same way that a compass needle steadies after turbulence, your mind must always return to true north, peace. No matter what chaos surrounds you, your task is to find the center within. Once centered, all decisions become clear and all forces begin to align. If you lose calmness, withdraw for a moment of silence. Do not force the mind to think. Let it rest. Infinite intelligence cannot speak through agitation. In stillness, the answer arrives. Many will mistake your calm for detachment. Let them. The world does not understand strength without noise. But those who observe carefully will sense your authority and yield to it. The man who can remain composed when all others lose control is always the one whom destiny favors. Calmness has color, tone, and fragrance. It colors your speech with certainty, tones your expression with wisdom, and perfumes your environment with stability. You need not announce faith. You radiate it. Every act of patience is an act of power. Every moment of restraint is a signal to law that you trust its order. The more you practice composure, the more the universe entrusts you with responsibility. Infinite intelligence will not assign leadership to the unbalanced. When your inner state becomes one of perpetual peace, people will seek your presence. They will call you lucky, unshakable, favored by life. They will say, he has something no one else has. You will know what it is, partnership with the unseen law of calm certainty. The man who walks through life as though everything is working out radiates a strange confidence that even doubt cannot pierce. He sees delay and smiles. He meets resistance and thanks it. His calmness is the crown of his character, and every circumstance kneels before it. Say now with conviction, I live in calmness, therefore I live in command. Each word plants a seed in the subconscious that will grow into instinctive peace. When the next storm arises, you will find that the habit of faith replaces the habit of fear. Do not seek to eliminate difficulty, seek to eliminate your reaction to it. The same event that defeats the weak strengthens the wise. It is not what happens that matters, but how you respond. Calmness transforms difficulty into discipline, and discipline transforms adversity into advantage. You will soon learn that peace is not found by escaping life, but by mastering it. You will not wait for silence outside, you will generate it within. When you can remain composed in the marketplace, as in meditation, you have discovered the secret of success. This is the art of calm certainty. To know that infinite intelligence governs every event, to trust its timing, and to act as though the outcome is already secure. You will never again rush, plead, or panic. You will decide, act, and trust. Repeat quietly before rest. I am calm, therefore I am powerful. No condition moves me, I move conditions. My serenity commands success. Let these words sink into your subconscious until they become reflex. When you awaken, carry their vibration with you. Speak with precision, act with assurance, and hold your peace even when others lose theirs. For calmness is not the absence of motion, it is the mastery of motion. This is the attitude of the man who lives by faith. He walks through storms as though they were breezes. He smiles where others shout. He leads by example of energy contained, purpose directed, and spirit disciplined. And because he has learned to govern himself, the law of success must now obey him. Every triumph begins long before the world applauds it. The man who achieves greatness has already conquered in the silence of his imagination. The doubter waits for proof. The believer builds proof by his assumption. What you assume as true, you instruct your subconscious to create. The law of life is not seeing is believing. The law is believing is seeing. The reason most men never rise beyond mediocrity is that they live from circumstance instead of conviction. They look at their surroundings and call it reality, forgetting that reality was first a thought. The mind precedes every condition. Therefore, the man who governs thought governs destiny. To act as though everything always works out is to assume victory in advance, and law must follow assumption. You cannot hold two opposing thoughts and expect harmony. If you assume struggle, you create it. If you assume peace, you live it. The subconscious does not interpret, it obeys. Whatever you repeat with emotion becomes the mold of your future. Say quietly to yourself, "My victory is certain because I have assumed it." Let those words become law in your own mind. Assumption is not pretending. It is alignment with unseen law. Pretending is a mask. It tires you. Assumption is identity. It renews you. Pretending ends when fatigue begins. Assumption endures because it feels natural. You must become so convinced of your success that doubt feels foreign, like a language you once knew but have forgotten. Look at Henry Ford, who announced that he would build a motor car for the multitude when others called him foolish. He saw it clearly in the theater of his mind long before the first model rolled forth. His partners withdrew, his finances failed, yet he persisted because he had already seen it done. That is the power of assumption. Vision so definite that it rearranges matter itself. When you assume success as your natural condition, life organizes itself to confirm it. Infinite intelligence arranges events, opportunities, and coincidences to validate your inner conviction. What the untrained call luck, the man of faith recognizes as law in motion. Say to yourself each morning, "I act as one already successful." Hold your head as one who has arrived, walk as one who is sure, speak as one who knows. This posture is not arrogance, it is obedience to truth. For the law of correspondence decrees that the outer must mirror the inner. The world cannot reflect faith you do not hold. Imagination is the workshop of faith. Every image you impress upon your mind becomes a seed planted in the soil of the subconscious. If you water that seed daily with repetition and emotion, it must grow into form. The architect builds first in mind, then in brick. So must you. You must cultivate what I call mental possession. Before the harvest appears, own it inwardly. Before the title is granted, claim it mentally. Before the recognition arrives, see yourself already worthy of it. This practice transforms fear into expectancy. When you feel that something belongs to you by law, worry disappears. The doubter lives by sight and complains that nothing happens. The believer lives by assumption and watches everything unfold. This is not mysticism, it is order. The subconscious mind accepts whatever you impress upon it as fact, regardless of logic. It then sets out through channels seen and unseen to prove itself right. Andrew Carnegie built his empire upon this same truth. He believed with unshakable conviction that every man was capable of greatness if he assumed responsibility for his thought. He said, "Think of yourself as successful, and you will become so, for the mind attracts its equal." He assumed wealth, and wealth responded. Assumption requires discipline. One day of doubt can undo weeks of faith. You cannot speak faith in the morning and fear at night and expect harmony. Each negative thought is a stone against your own foundation. Guard your inner dialogue as a gatekeeper guards a fortress. The world mirrors your dominant feeling, not your occasional wish. You may pray for success 1,000 times, but if you live as though failure is certain, your prayer is canceled. The universe takes instruction from your vibration, not your vocabulary. Say to yourself often, "The world rearranges itself to match my belief." Each repetition strengthens your inner conviction until it becomes reflex. When your assumption hardens into certainty, people, places, and events will begin to shift in ways you could not have designed. Thomas Edison practiced this law naturally. He assumed there was a solution to every problem. Each failure only confirmed that he was one step closer to success. He never said, "I hope it works." He said, "I will make it work." His assumption created electricity, recorded sound, and illuminated the world. Assumption is living faith. It is the difference between one who hopes and one who knows. Hope is fragile. It depends on signs. Faith is solid. It creates signs. The man of hope prays for evidence. The man of faith moves as though the evidence were already delivered. The universe loves the decisive. When you assume success, you begin to move differently. Your tone changes. Your posture straightens. You begin to speak with conviction, and others respond to it. They sense your inner certainty and align with it unconsciously. People are drawn to those who already believe in themselves. Confidence is contagious because it is truth expressed through certainty. Imagine a commander before battle. The troops look to his eyes, not his words. If they see fear, defeat begins before the fight. But if they see calm certainty, their hearts ignite. So it is with you. The world reads your energy before it hears your argument. Act with the calm of victory already secured. Repeat this affirmation before work, before decision, before rest. I live as one already victorious. The subconscious records every repetition. Soon your faith becomes habit, and habit becomes reality. Do not confuse assumption with idle daydreaming. Daydreaming lacks decision. It is wish without will, imagination without direction. Assumption is imagination with intent, backed by persistence. The dreamer hopes, the believer commands. To act as though everything always works out, you must speak as though infinite intelligence is your silent partner. You must trust the invisible chain of cause and effect that binds thought to result. Every word you speak impresses law with a pattern. Every act of faith quickens its response. When circumstances oppose you, do not retreat into doubt. Stand still in confidence and say, "This too is part of my arrangement." Even obstacles can become allies when seen through the lens of assumption. Life is not against you. It is organizing itself around your vibration. Remember that victory assumed cannot be defeated. The man who believes utterly cannot fail utterly. His apparent losses become part of his final gain. The world yields to the one who acts as if resistance itself is serving him. To strengthen this state, surround yourself with order. Keep your environment clean, your words precise, your routine steady. Disorder outside often mirrors doubt within. When your outer life reflects confidence, your inner life follows. The subconscious takes instruction from your surroundings as surely as from your thoughts. Say quietly before each labor, I expect success. Therefore, success expects me. Feel those words settle deep in your mind. They are not a plea. They are a decree. You are commanding the law of vibration, and it must obey. Others will notice. They will sense the subtle authority in your tone, the calm in your gaze. They will call you lucky, unaware that luck is only law seen too late. You will no longer need to explain yourself, for your results will speak for you. The one who assumes victory walks differently. His energy does not chase, it attracts. His eyes hold a quiet fire. His words carry weight because they are spoken from conviction, not desperation. The weak seek approval, the strong carry assurance. Say often, I act from knowing, not from hoping. Hope wavers with the wind. Knowing stands firm like stone. Faith is the bridge between idea and evidence. Each time you act as though your goal were already achieved, you strengthen that bridge until the result must cross it. Let us return again to Ford, who, when faced with financial ruin, said, whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right. He understood that assumption dictates outcome. The mind that expects failure will sabotage itself. The mind that expects victory will compel the world to assist it. The believer works with joy because he knows the end from the beginning. He does not wait to celebrate after achievement. He celebrates in advance. This joy fuels his persistence. The doubter waits for evidence and grows weary in the waiting. The believer's faith is fuel enough. Assumption transforms your relationship with time. You cease waiting for results. You begin expecting them. Waiting implies distance. Expecting implies imminence. You act faster, think clearer, and rest deeper because you know the law is already at work. When doubt whispers, what if it fails? Answer, it cannot. When fear says, what if it takes too long? Reply, it will arrive on time. Each denial of doubt fortifies your certainty until faith becomes reflex. Repeat these affirmations until they feel as natural as breathing. I act as one already successful. My victory is certain because I have assumed it. The world rearranges itself to match my belief. The architect does not doubt the strength of his foundation because he designed it. So must you trust the structure of your own thought. Every plan drawn in faith becomes blueprint for reality. The bricks may not yet be laid, but the pattern exists, and law must fill it. The difference between the man of faith and the man of fear is simple. The first commands, the second pleads. The law responds to command because command implies knowledge of truth. Pleading implies separation from it. Speak to infinite intelligence not as a beggar, but as an heir of divine right. You are not testing the law. The law is testing you. It will deliver precisely what you assume. If you hold doubt, it gives you reason to doubt. If you hold faith, it multiplies your confidence through results. You cannot cheat this principle. You can only align with it. When others see your composure in the face of difficulty, they will sense something sacred. They may call you arrogant, but secretly they will envy your certainty. They will come to you for guidance, believing you possess knowledge they lack. And in truth, you do. The knowledge that infinite intelligence rewards the man who already believes. Close each night with this decree, I am already victorious. My faith is law. My certainty is power. The world moves in rhythm with my belief. Speak it until the words no longer sound like desire but declaration. When faith becomes identity, reality cannot resist it. For the man who assumes victory is already victorious. He lives not in pursuit, but in possession. He does not wait for the law to act. He walks knowing that it already has. And because he believes without condition, the universe mirrors his certainty in every direction. That is the law of assumed victory. Believe before you see. Speak before you are heard. Walk before the path appears.